a trust problem. Pastor, I don't know, my heart has been moving. What's moving your heart is that you don't trust. You don't really, you are just shouting, I believe in God. I believe in God. You are shouting, I believe in God. Does not mean you believe in God. I'm telling you. Tell them and say, if you don't have peace, you don't have a peace problem. Tell them loudly. Say, you don't have a peace problem. You have a trust problem. The problem you have is a believing problem. One more time. Preach it and say, the problem you have is a believing problem. Preach it loud and say, the problem you have is a believing problem. You are not preaching well. Tell them and say, the problem you have is a believing problem. You are not preaching well. Tell them and say, the problem you have is a believing problem. So if somebody does not have peace, amen, this is not a peace problem. It's a trust problem. You don't trust him. You don't trust him to fix it. Many of us in this room, you're anxious about your marriage. I'm telling you, God is doing that. We say, yeah, and you're like, hey, that's not what God is doing. So if you have a posture that God does not have about your matter, you are not trusting him. Because when you really trust him, what does it do? It gives you his posture. Say, son, look at what I've done. I've fixed it all. I've fixed it all. Look at it, look at it, look at it. I've fixed it all. Because it's at that time you will see things. It's that time you will call upon him and he will now show you great and mighty things that you know not of. Tap your neighbor and say it's a trust problem. Tell them and say it's a believing problem. Tell someone and say it's a believing problem. Tell them and say it's a believing problem. Ask them and say, do you really trust in the power of prayer? You are not preaching. Tell them and say, do you